What's up, guys? So today I'm going to go over the cues and kind of what I'm seeing, as well as the tickers I've been watching recently. Um, yeah, before I get into this, if you wouldn't mind hitting that like button and subscribing to the channel, I'd greatly appreciate it. It helps the channel grow and allows me to reach more people. And also, I have a free Discord if you're interested in joining. I'm going to start the growth count challenge today and put $100 in. I'm going to use Robinhood for that and put $100 every week for the rest of the year and see how much I can grow that account through shares and selling options eventually. But to get into the charts, yeah, on the cues, I was watching this for a very long time. It's a 4-hour chart, and this was a wedge that just broke. Or when was that? Middle of February. Broke down, came back. I thought we were going to retest this, and then reject out of that. But it's been trading in what I think is another wedge, to be honest. So you see there's a touch there. We had a spike through, touch here, touch here, touch here. And we have multiple touches off this lower trend line right now. In today's Opex, so I'm expecting some volatility. We didn't really get much yesterday. Usually you get it on a Thursday. Yeah, it looks really weak right now. You can see we're at the lower trend line. We're getting an upper wick right now, but there's a lot of time left. Market's not even open. If you go to the ETF, I know this chart's really messy. I didn't get to clean it up yet. But there's this huge gap down here, and that's after NVIDIA earnings. So if we break down and we break this level right here, so what's this low? 433.65. I expect a quick flush, and that could be the volatility we get today, to be honest. We'll see. I'm not expecting it to happen, but I'd love to get a move like that, make some real money on some options. So yeah, I was looking at that wedge and semis yesterday. We confirmed a downtrend, so you can see we had that climax candle I was talking about. Came down, bounced our lower high, and then made a lower low, but not much fall through right now. So take that for what it is. Still need to confirm the weekly candle, I believe. And no, we did that yesterday. Never mind. So yeah, we could still see some more downside cool off. Come down, hit this 8 exponential, and eventually you should hit the 20. I mean, that's going to keep creeping up over time, but yeah, I'm still looking for consolidation. NVIDIA still has their conference next week that I was discussing. So right now we're just tightening up, and like I was saying, I wasn't going to trade it. I didn't touch this yesterday. I scalped the cues, and that was frustrating. Right now, I'll get to that in a second. Right now, NVIDIA is on a weekly inside bar, so this is just getting tight into that conference. You don't want to really play in a tight range. That's what I was kind of saying in the other video. I need extended hours on because it'll just chop up your account. So you get that big flush down, you get the bounce, short the lower high, and you come up here, come down. I remember saying that I think this could hold, and right now it is. And we could bounce and try to reject off this, and it'll just continue to tighten up and do something like come down, reject off that, and it'll just, like I said, there's not much of a move there, so it gets harder and harder. The risk or reward's lower. You don't want that. Unless you think this is going to pop to an all-time high, you can trade that if that's what you really believe. But I would say if we get a pop today, it's more likely we would reject off this than anything. And you can do that for a scalp if it's worthwhile to you. I'm just saying what I'm personally doing is I'm not touching this. I tried to play the cues yesterday. This is what I did, and it was frustrating. So what I was looking at on the cues, and I know, like I said, my charts are a little messy right now. I have to clean all this up. You can see we had a candle right here, an inside bar, So the range is getting tighter, and we were trading at the open inside that bar. So it's 3 inside bars. I was like, okay, we're gonna break here today to upside or downside. As long as we, make a move out of there, I'm gonna play that. Um, and then that's the low of the previous day. We came down, busted through it, and I was saying in the chat I wanted to get a bounce to reshort it, and they gave that little dinky thing, and I didn't take it because right here, this green dash, usually I'll put like a shaded area, but that's the zone I was looking for some kind of bounce in, and I was just watching price action. We flushed down into that area, and I was expecting a bounce, so I didn't play anything there. I played a little bit of a bounce here. I didn't call down chat because we bear broke out of that candle, so I was looking for a short. I scalped a little bit here, and then I started scaling into a short, admittedly a little early. I think I grabbed some here, and I grabbed some up around here, and then I scaled out. It was a very small win. I was small size too. I was only playing with daily contracts, and the reason for the smaller size was because, yeah, we broke the bear break, but they're dailies, so they can really move. Yeah, and then I saw this volume spike here, and I thought we were going to shoot to the other side. Once we broke bear, no fall through, come back into yesterday's candle or previous day's candle, and got that spike. I was like, yeah, we're just going to try to break through the upside. Bulls are playing aggressive again. So I just stopped trading this. Like, I didn't want my account to get chopped because, once you get a bear break, no fall through, come back here, I try to short against a decent zone. Didn't make really much money there, and I wasn't willing to just get chopped up. And I was calling that in the chat that's what today looked like. I traded SMCI a little bit. I didn't call this one out either because I ultimately embarrassed this. So I scalped this little move on some calls. And I swung a lotto into today. It probably is going to zero, but it was a good risk to reward. So right here, I posted at 10:39 that I grabbed a lotto for today, 980 strike for $70. So the way I'm looking at that is, like I said, it's going to zero, but it was worth it. As far as risk to reward, I think there was a chance, so I obviously took it. So my reasoning for the lotto is we're getting close to that apex, and if we would sell off, the day right before the inclusion at all, with the bearish divergence, the gaps, extension on the weekly, that have been going over, I figured it was worth a shot because $70, if it would flush down, that's almost 20% move from here, and that sounds like a lot, and it is, but the first day that we flushed down 20% there. So actually, no, sorry, that was here, right? Yeah, 26% first day, and 26% off the all-time highs more than fills the gap. So I figured it was worth a stab because if it fills, $70 turns into 6,000, so that's almost 100 times your money, and I'll take that trade any day if I think it's more than a 1% chance, and I definitely thought it was more than a 1% chance, so it was worth taking. You know what I mean? I am still swinging my puts. Those went back to less red, so they're not profitable yet, but not doing too bad. I was being heckled by somebody the other day and asked how my puts are doing and said I'm not sweating them. The size was appropriate for what I'm trying to do. My second entry is supposed to be the good one. We did get an uptick yesterday in volume. Not much. Like, you can see it's still really low volume. It's nothing crazy. Over here it was huge, and ever since the inclusion news, it's just been slowly going down. But we had an uptick compared to the previous day. Came down. We were trying to set a 4-hour higher low, I believe. Yeah, so you can see we came down here. We're shooting up, trying to form a higher low and a daily higher low compared to this right here. So right now, the most key levels are 1089.84 and you can see all those wicks all over it. Once we broke below it, we came up, we retested that, and we have the 20 period moving average on the 4 hour. And if that breaks, this is our daily higher low. So that's the next key support that we should try to hold if you're a bull. 10.25. But if this breaks, I'm under the assumption that we're going to waterfall because we've had a lot more price history up here. That's where bulls are really defending, and if that breaks, that's yeah, it should be a red flag. Um, Inclusion date is on Monday, so we have trading day today, and like I said, it's Opex, so volatility could really pick up here. And then we have that conference next week, Monday to Wednesday. The FOMC next Wednesday, so that's going to be big with all of this CPI and PPI data coming out hotter than expected. Last time Powell threw that under the rug and didn't acknowledge that we had upticks. He just said it's trending downwards, which yeah, it is. But we just had 4 reports in a row where it was higher than expected. Um, yeah, so that's kind of what I traded yesterday, what I'm looking at a little bit. I know this is a really brief video. I wanted to throw something out before the market. I didn't have time to do one last night, so yeah, looking at that wedge on the Qs ultimately. Um, this is gonna give us market direction. We're selling off a little bit more now too. If we break this, like we got some fall through on this one, and then yeah, bulls bought the dip again. So didn't get any kind of fall through because when you get a wedge, you're looking for, you know, you go to the bottom of the wedge, get your target, measured move, and we should have broken down to right around here, this zone. I'm just doing this roughly. I'm not being exact right now. So with this one, if this would break, this would fill the gaps or that large gap on the ETF. So it'd be a significant move if it gets the follow through. And we are extended. You can see we still have built up divergences too. So right there, like and just for anyone that doesn't know, divergence is when price is making higher highs. So you see high, another high, another high, another high, and the indicator's making lower highs. So yeah, I think this is something to keep a close eye on, especially with the semis showing some red flags. So I'm still looking bearish until we get a decent market pullback. We get a 10% correction at least 1.1 times a year. So until we get something significant, I don't want to trade bullish up here. To me, it's just, yeah, we could push up, but you're tripping over pennies. To be honest, you're not getting good price, and that's ultimately what you want. And you can get caught with your pants down and a gap down one day. I'm not trying to be one of those people. So, and you can obviously negate risk with your size and how you're playing. You'd just probably play smaller size, short dated contracts. Yeah, outside of that, the only other thing I'm looking at is Tesla. I did enter a very small position in this for May contracts, just for a bounce trade. It was anti-FOMO, and I'm read that position right now. I entered that right in the beginning because we were just waterfalling down. I saw all the bulls trying to buy this on the gap down. So like, okay, I'll enter a position here. We're daily oversold now. I didn't really do too much analysis on this last time, and I still haven't really drawn out a whole lot. But this green dash line I have here is where I wanted to start entering. I didn't enter more yesterday because I'm focused on SMCI and want to make sure I hit that trade because I feel like this could take longer if the market starts to consolidate. So I'm not trying to, sit through a prolonged bounce trade. So I'm cool with my initial position. It's, like I said, it's very small, but I'm gonna wait for this to show me a signal that it's ready to go. and we could definitely go lower. Like if the market starts to pull back at all, this thing's gonna get smoked. And I'm not trying to sit through a lot of red, so I'm gonna wait and I'll trade SMCI to the downside. So I think that downside is the next move right now in the market, and SMCI in general needs to consolidate. And it's showing to me that it's getting exhausted. The buyers are slowing down, the volume's tapering off. So I'm going to trade this bounce trade after that. So once that's all said and done, this is where my focus is probably going to go to. We'll see what happens, but yeah, this green dash line, you can see busted through it, came down, retested it, tested it again here, and then we played around with it down here a lot, like this area, retested it there. To me, that's an area, this area right here, this green dashed line down to this yellow line of 152.37. It's a pretty wide range, but it starts getting really wide down here. So it's a $10 gap pretty much, not actual gap, but zone that I would add to, and then we have this unfilled gap down here. This low from 23, that's our last pivot. That's down at $100 pretty much. So I will be accumulating Tesla. You want to buy when there's blood in the streets. I don't think the company's going to go to zero. I'm looking at it as a robotics company, like I was saying. I want to get a bounce trade out of it, but I also want to have investments here. This is the time you get the investments, not when stuff's at all-time highs and chasing. Yeah, you're catching the trend, which is great, but you're getting a good deal here. Your reward's much greater. There's risk, obviously, but another thing I was noticing is I have here marked bear flag extension target. I think that was on the weekly. So you come down here. This is your pull, form a flag, and another pull, and then that would be your extension target down here. So like I said, we can definitely go lower, especially if what I think is going to happen is the market corrects upwards of like 10%. This thing's going to get smoked. So I'm not trying to sit through all that. I'll eat my small initial entry if I have to. I'm not, like, it's such a small size, I'm not watching it. Let's just say that. So um, I'm risking what I would be willing to risk on a normal trade. So I just wanted to have a position in there that if we would start to rally, it's like, okay, at least I made some money on this thing. I was starting to get really anxious to play this. And like I said, I'm doing the growth account challenge starting today. So I have $100. I put it in Robinhood because Robinhood, it's instant money. And then I can also buy fractional shares, and you're only dealing with $100. So you got to do what's beneficial to that account size. I only trade on TD Ameritrade, but well, now I'm going to Schwab, I guess. But um, so yeah, that's what I'm going to do every Friday. I'm going to put money in there, and in Discord, I'm going to post every time I put money in there. I don't know how often I'll post like what the account looks like, dollar size. It's going to be at least once a week, but I don't know how often. Like maybe more. I'm not sure. Um, and I'll post my trade ideas, what I'm trying to do with that account. And I have a separate channel in there for other people to talk about theirs if they're joining it as well. You don't have to take the trades I take. Obviously, this is an account challenge, so I'm going to try and see what I can do in a year and grow a small account. And it's all different depending on what's available in the market. So um, I think it's going to be a good opportunity to start one. So like I said, if the market does consolidate, you're getting cheap price. That's what you want. So that account can grow a lot faster now. But I'm not sure what I'm going to do. As far as my initial buys, I'll post them in there in that separate channel on when I choose to buy it because it's more for like longer term holds. If there's a decent trade, I'll take the trade if it's a swing trade. So it's not going to be anything that's like my scalps. I'm doing that on my main account. And this is intended to teach new people basically how to grow a small account. You can see technical analysis, learn if you're joining or if you're just following, that's fine. Learn how to read charts and see how fast you can grow an account. The bigger it gets, obviously, the better the gains become, and you have to start to snowball somewhere. If The way I look at it is $100 a week. Anybody can make an extra $100 a week. There's a lot of side hustles out there you can do. If you think you can't, then I think you're either lazy or fooling yourself. Um, so yeah, that's kind of a little bit of a rant, but what I'm looking at, like I said, in the market. So I do have a position here. I do intend on trading Tesla, and I'm really anxious to be able to get this price for like longer term. I think this is going to go to $1,000 to $2,000 over the next 3 years, I guess, 5 years, with AI, robotics, and stuff. And this is going to be a huge win. So I'm going to probably dip my toes in on the growth account, just not today, and also my investment account. So this will be pretty massive. It's a great opportunity. I love it when stocks sell off. Most people don't because it's their 401ks and investments. But if you know how to play both sides, you love the red. Because that's where you're going to make the money. And if you can make money during the red, that's even better. And that's what I try to focus on. I love playing bearish. It's my favorite thing to do. If not, I want cheap price. I don't want to chase the hype. You can make really good money in the hype cycles, obviously. I shorted the crap out of Tesla, but I also played it on its S&P 500 inclusion, made a ton of money there. Yeah, so that's just my thoughts. I know this is a little ranty. I wanted to get something out before the market open and just say what I kind of did yesterday and what I'm looking at going forward. If you want to join the Discord, the link's in the description below. If you're at all interested in learning like my setups and stuff and what I'm doing throughout the day, it's all posted in here. And like I said, I made the growth account challenge. So you can follow that if you would like. And until next time, I wish you the best in the markets.